All right, let's dive into something really special today. The Mona Lisa. You know, Da Vinci's masterpiece.
Yeah, arguably the most famous painting in the world.
Exactly. And I think we all want to know what makes it so, well, captivating. Like, why that painting?
Well, it's a fascinating journey, that's for sure. From a simple family portrait to this global icon.
Right, international art heist, all that drama.
Oh, yeah, we'll get to that. But, fun fact, most people don't even know the story behind the woman in the painting.
Really? I feel like I should, but go on.
So this was a real person, Lisa del Giocondo, commissioned by her husband, Francesco, celebrating their second son and a new house, quite the occasion.
Okay, so not some, like, mysterious muse or secret love affair, just, family celebrating.
Exactly. A slice of life, 500 years ago. But this wasn't just any artist they hired.
Oh, true. This was Leonardo da Vinci. By that point, he was already a big deal, right?
Oh, huge. By 1503, he was a renowned painter, scientist, inventor, the ultimate Renaissance man, in his 50s, at the height of his powers.
And that's where things get interesting. Because the Mona Lisa, it's not just a pretty picture. It's like packed with groundbreaking techniques.
Oh, absolutely.
Like sfumato. I've heard the term, but explain it like I'm 5.
Okay, so sfumato, it means smoked in Italian. Think about, like, soft blending, yeah. So instead of hard lines between colors, they kind of melt into each other, especially around Mona Lisa's face.
Ah, okay, I can picture that. So that's how he gets that sort of, like, hazy, lifelike effect.
Yeah.
Adds to the mystery.
Exactly. And, Da Vinci was obsessed with anatomy, too.
Right, he dissected bodies, didn't he? I remember reading about that.
He did. He believed that to really capture the human form, you got to understand it inside and out. So he spent hours in morgues dissecting faces to see how the muscles worked.
Hold on, so that smile, the one everyone's trying to decipher, happy, sad, knowing.
Yeah.
He didn't just imagine that.
Nope. He was applying scientific knowledge to make it that realistic.
Wow, okay, mind blown.
His notebooks are full of anatomical sketches, and he was fascinated by the muscles around the mouth, like how a smile changes with different emotions.
So he was really trying to capture all those nuances.
Yes, and it shows, right? I mean, her expression is just incredibly lifelike.
Okay, I'm following so far, but then there's the background. Like, it's not just a flat backdrop, it's this weird, dreamlike landscape. Was that, like, artistic license or?
That's called aerial perspective. It's a technique to create depth and atmosphere.
Okay.
Notice how the colors and details get, like, softer and hazier the further back you go, especially those mountains.
Yeah, I see it.
That was pretty revolutionary for the time. And It does more than just, look pretty.
Oh, what else is it doing?
It makes you think about how you're seeing Mona Lisa. Those misty mountains, that path leading who knows where.
Adds to the mystery for sure.
Exactly. It creates a kind of melancholy, that wouldn't be there with a simple background. Yeah. It makes you question, like, what is she thinking? What's she looking at?
It pulls you in deeper.
Exactly. So it's not just the smile, it's the whole mood of the piece, working on you almost subconsciously.
Da Vinci was playing mind games centuries before. Like, psychology was a thing.
He was a master of it, along with art. Even his contemporaries knew it. Giorgio Vasari, this prominent art historian at the time, he said Mona Lisa's smile was more divine than human, praised its realism and beauty.
High praise. But here's what I don't get. If it was so revolutionary, so obviously the work of a genius, why wasn't it an instant sensation? Seems like it was kind of ignored for centuries.
Yeah, and that's a good reminder that fame, even for masterpieces, isn't always immediate. Sometimes it takes a dramatic event.
Oh, and in the case of the Mona Lisa.
Well, let's just say it involves a daring theft and a whole lot of intrigue.
Wait, are we talking the theft? The one everyone knows about?
Oh, yeah, that theft. The one that, oddly enough, made the Mona Lisa a superstar. Yeah, that's the one. The theft that, kind of accidentally made the Mona Lisa famous.
Okay, so paint me a picture. 1911, she's hanging in the Louvre, admired, but not yet, like this global phenomenon, and then what?
Okay, so picture this. August 21st, 1911. This guy, Vincenzo Peruggia, Italian handyman, worked at the Louvre, actually.
No way.
Yep. He just walks in, removes the painting from the wall, hides it under his coat, and strolls out.
Wait, seriously? He just walked out. No alarms, no guards tackling him.
Well, security back then wasn't exactly top-notch. And get this, they didn't even notice it was gone until the next day.
Oh, man, I can only imagine the chaos when they realized.
Oh, it was a scandal. Headlines everywhere. Everyone had a theory.
I bet. This must have been like the first big art heist that really caught the public's attention.
It was huge. The police were baffled, the public was obsessed, and boom, suddenly the Mona Lisa is the most talked about painting in the world.
It's kind of funny, right? Like,
Yeah.
this huge crisis for the art world actually makes the painting more famous.
It's a weird twist, right? Because of the theft, suddenly everyone knows her face, that smile, the whole mystery surrounding her.
I even heard people lined up at the Louvre just to see the empty space where it used to hang.
Yep, that's true. It became this, symbol of the theft, this missing piece. Everyone was just captivated.
So who was this guy? Perugia. Some mastermind criminal.
Actually, his story is pretty interesting. He believed the Mona Lisa belonged to Italy. Thought Napoleon had stolen it years before.
Oh, wow. So he saw himself as, like, a patriot?
Exactly, returning a national treasure.
The Robin Hood of the art world.
Yeah.
Stealing from the rich French.
I'm sure the Louvre wouldn't appreciate that comparison. But yeah, his motive wasn't money, it was national pride.
Okay, that's a twist I didn't see coming. But he couldn't hide a painting that famous forever. How'd they finally catch him?
Well, he kept it hidden for 2 years, but then he tried to sell it to an art dealer in Florence.
Oh, so his patriotic act kind of backfired.
Yep, and that's when the authorities finally caught up with him.
I bet there was a huge sigh of relief worldwide when they got the Mona Lisa back.
Oh, absolutely. Celebrations in the streets. They even put it on display in Italy for a bit, like a victory lap, before returning it to the Louvre in 1914.
That must have been quite the spectacle. The return of the Mona Lisa.
Oh, it was huge. International news. People flocked to the Louvre. The theft had made her an icon.
So this one crazy event, this art heist, that's what made her the most recognizable painting in the world.
I think it's more than just recognition. It's about how it changed the meaning of the painting.
Yeah.
Suddenly it's this symbol of mystery, intrigue, the fragility of beauty. It sparked all these conversations about art, security, national pride.
Like she became this blank canvas onto which everyone can project their own ideas.
Exactly. And here's where it gets even more interesting. Because after the theft, you start seeing artists, writers, musicians, everyone referencing the Mona Lisa in their work.
Oh, right. Like Andy Warhol's pop art version or Duchamp.
Yes. And it's still happening today. Street art, memes, all these different interpretations. She's everywhere.
It's like she's part of our collective consciousness now.
And it makes you wonder, right? Why this painting? Out of all the masterpieces, why has the Mona Lisa captured our imaginations so intensely?
Well, it's a beautiful painting. It has this crazy story, and then there's that smile. Like she knows something we don't. But is there something more to it, something deeper about like psychology, how we see the world?
That's what we'll get into in the last part of our deep dive, because the Mona Lisa's story, it's also our story about how we connect with art and why some images hold such power.
All right, so we've covered a lot about the Mona Lisa. Family portrait, stolen masterpiece, pop culture icon. It's a lot.
It really is a wild ride, her story.
But I keep coming back to this question of why. Why this painting, out of all the others, is such a global obsession?
Yeah, that's the big one, isn't it? People have been asking that for centuries, and I honestly don't think there's one answer. But we can break down some of the things that contribute to her, enduring power.
Okay, yeah, break it down for me. What makes her so special?
Well, first, there's just the sheer technical brilliance. Da Vinci was a master. Sfumato, the way he blended colors, captured light and shadow, it creates this almost supernatural realism.
Right, it really does feel like she's looking right at you.
Yeah.
And that's powerful no matter what.
It is. And then you have the smile. I mean, so much has been written about that smile, right? Is she happy, sad, knowing? It seems to change depending on how you look at it.
It does.
And that ambiguity is irresistible. Our brains want certainty, so when we're faced with something we can't quite figure out.
We're hooked. We want to solve the puzzle.
Exactly. Plus, there's the whole historical context. The fact that she was stolen, gone for years, this international intrigue.
Oh, yeah, that definitely adds to the mystique. We all love a good
We
story.
do. And the Mona Lisa has a great one. It's like that true crime podcast you can't stop listening to, even when you know the ending.
Exactly. That drama, that mystery, it all gets wrapped up in how we see the painting.
And we can't forget pop culture either. Warhol, Duchamp, Beyonce, and Jay-Z, everyone's reinterpreted her in their own way.
Right. And it's still going on. It's like she's become this mirror reflecting our times and culture back at us.
I like that, the mirror idea, because each generation does see something different in her.
Something that speaks to their own experience.
Exactly. And that might be the key to her power, She's become more than just a painting. She's a symbol, an icon. Beauty, mystery, the power of art to transcend time.
It's heavy stuff.
It is. Because she lets us project our own thoughts and emotions onto her, so in a way, she becomes a part of us.
So why should we care about a painting that's over 500 years old? What's the takeaway here?
I think it's a reminder that art has this incredible power to connect us, to intrigue us, make us think and feel. It's like a proof of human creativity and how it can last. I mean, even after all this time, she still captivates us, and that, I think, is pretty amazing.
Yeah, no, you've definitely given me a new perspective. Next time I see a picture of her, I'm going to see it with new eyes. Knowing all the history, the technique, the impact, it's all there behind that smile.
Exactly. And maybe you'll find yourself thinking about your own connection to her, too. What does Mona Lisa say to you? What secrets do you see in her gaze?
Hmm, that's something to think about.
It is. And our listeners, you're a part of her story now, too.
That's a good way to put it. Thanks for
Yeah.
joining us on this deep dive, everyone.